Reno Collier joining us in studios, getting ready for a big Opry weekend, playing the Opry. This is your second time.
It is.
Surprise. I heard the first one. I'm shocked.
That they'd have me back?
Yeah.
I know. I thought when they gave me the thing for my parking spot, that was basically like, take it because you're not coming back.
Yeah, right.
They gave me the sign that said, Reno Collier parking. I was like, will you give that to me?
Wow.
Does that mean you're not coming back? Dude, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It's the most fun thing to do.
Yeah, it's a fun crowd, and it's a different kind of crowd.
It's also a different kind of backstage than anywhere else. I think, when everybody talks about the Opry, it's a country crowd. They're all there. Everybody there, it was their destination to go to the Grand Ole Opry and to be a part of it. But I think as an artist, a comedian, whomever, the backstage experience is so much different than everywhere else. The doors to all the dressing rooms are wide open. And people are popping in and out and just hanging out. You don't know who's going to walk in and sit with you. Even people who aren't even on the bill will be there. And you're like, whoa, hey, what are you doing here?
And I sit there thinking, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? Like the feeling of like when you do a Comedy Central special or something, it feels like the people are kind of against you. Like it's like they don't want you to do well. The first time I did it, the Isaacs were on first. And they blew the doors off that place. They had fiddles, and it was and I'm going just like, energy. I gotta follow this, and the crowd's standing up clapping, and I'm going, they're singing like Lee Greenwood pops out of a drum, and I'm like, good God, like, how am I gonna follow this? And as they were coming off, the lady who's the lead singer, I go, how am I supposed to follow that? And she grabbed my hands and looked dead in my eyes and goes, you are going to kill it out there. You are going to have the best time of your life. And I was like, yeah.
Okay.
I am. I swear to you, dude, I swear God puts people in your life sometimes like a little angel. When I did a show with Cable Guy years ago, 60-some thousand people at the Nebraska football stadium. Comedy Central's filming it. There's all these people. I mean, it's just jammed up for the 4th of July. There's Comedy Central's filming it, so there's people running everywhere. And right before I went out, I couldn't remember any of my act. And I was going like, oh,
what?
no.
That happens?
Dude, full-blown panic attack. Mm-hmm. Had no idea. This guy, Josh Wolf, is on stage. He's going to bring me out. And I'm sitting there going,
just completely,
you didn't even know what your first
blank.
joke was.
Not my first word. And this big biker grip dude carrying like these wires and stuff walks by and goes, Reno! And I looked at him. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, you're going to kill it out there, man. They love you. And I was like, they do? And he's like, dude, they can't wait to see you. I can't wait to watch this. You're my favorite comic. I love you more than Larry. And I'm like, yeah. And I went out and did it and killed. But it was like, if that biker tatted up dude hadn't come up to me and said that, I would have had the worst dream of my life come true.
Do you
think he was a real grip, or do you think he was an angel?
I'm pretty sure he was a grip. I don't know that angels smell like that.
I hope they don't.
I do too. That'd be mine.
You need a stage hypnotist to get you pumped up before you go out on stage.
Dude, I used to drink a lot back then. I don't drink anymore. I'm so amped now. I don't forget anything. And even if I did, I wouldn't stop talking.
Patrick has been hypnotized several times.
Oh, it's not good.
It's the funniest thing for us.
You believe in it?
Oh,
I do.
Do you?
I've seen him transform into Marie Antoinette.
Are you serious? Do you remember any of it?
He snapped in and he's like, he starts speaking French. And
how do you
got
explain?
the affectations.
How do you explain being hypnotized?
It's like you're in on the. It's like it's not real, but you do it anyway.
Yeah.
It's like you just want to go along with it. People go, do you really believe that you're? Well, no, but you just do it because you're hypnotized. So you just do whatever. It's just a suggestion.
So you're aware of everything, but you can't help it.
Yeah, I mean, can't help it is you feel like you're supposed to do it, so you do it.
You're a willing participant.
Yeah, you're a willing participant.
So when they're like, you're a duck, you go, all right.
Yeah.
For today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
He thought it was George Bush, and we had him screening phone calls, and he goes, I'm the president.
like, why am I screening your calls?
Don't you have people to do this?
We're like, yes, you, Mr. President.
All right, Reno Collier is playing the Opry this weekend. Tomorrow night, we'll talk more with Reno on the way. Hang on. Reno Collier, comedian, is going to be playing the Grand Ole Opry tomorrow night. You know, you're on with one of our butts, Jameson Rogers.
Yeah.
And Mark Wills, my
awesome.
favorite Riders in the Sky.
Dude, I love
it's
Riders
so
in the
when they
Sky.
when they do Woody's Roundup, I'm like, nah, they Roundup.
Yeah.
I can't. I love it. They're
And they'll
the
tell
best.
those jokes that you know they've
Every
told on
time.
stage 50,000 times, and they still sound fresh and brand new every time they do it. It's so perfect.
So good. We're talking about
Mighty
hypnotism.
fine and a great big western howdy. I'm Ranger Doug.
I'm Too Slim.
I'm Woody Paul.
I'm Joey the Cowpolka King.
We are Riders in the Sky. And you're listening to Big D and Bubba, because it's the Cowboy Way.
Oh, dude, how cool is that?
So cool. They're in there. They're like doing animal voices. Like, and I was just like, yeah.
Me too.
I'll do it again.
Do it again.
I love it. But yeah, we were talking about hypnotism. And so you had a story. Have you been under?
No, yeah, one time, and when I came to, I was smoking. No, I haven't been under.
Okay. Don't do. Do better.
Do better than that.
Yeah, tomorrow night. Don't do that. That's-
Don't do that. Hey, everybody. Knock, knock. Who's there? Me. All right. We're going to have a good time. You never know who you'll see at the Opry.
Hospital food. Am I right?
Have you been backstage? I have. Thanks.
If you don't do at least a little of that, you're not
Oh,
gonna
you
get
should.
right?
Who here's been on an airplane?
Welcome to the Opry. Anybody from out of town? All right. That's enough out of you. A little more of me.
Dude, I would pee myself if you did that for real. I would totally watch it.
And you
Anyway.
know Big D's going to be sitting on his back deck listening to the Opry because he does pretty much every
Dude,
Saturday
I love
night.
it. It's my
So
favorite. I love it. It's the best.
Yeah. It's so much fun.
Anyway,
man.
so you've never been under.
I haven't been under, but years ago, there were a lot of hypnotists that would go through comedy clubs, right? So there was a club in Charlotte, North Carolina, and this guy, Medicine Hat, had been booked he's passed away now, but he was booked for a whole bunch of Christmas parties, right? And he was a dirty hypnotist. Well, he bails and he can't be there, but all these companies had booked their stuff. So the club owner has to go and find another hypnotist. So he's basically going through the phone book. Like, I have 2 days. So he finds some jackass that did like birthday parties or whatever. You know what I mean? Brings him in. And I'm a comic, and the other comics are sitting in the back, and we have different feelings about hypnotists than probably people who enjoy them more. You know what I mean? It's not really comedy to me. So the
You
guys,
think it's more of a shtick?
yeah, I think it's like puppets. It's just, come on. I'm a ventriloquist, and I sold out an arena. Well, anybody can be a ventriloquist when people are sitting. When they're so what? When they're sitting 300 yards away, you can't tell if his mouth's moving anyway. If you sit right beside me and do it, hey, look, I'm Jimmy, then I'm like, okay, I didn't see your mouth move.
Man,
but if I spend $300 to watch it, it's stupid.
In defense,
somebody coming hard
I
against
like
some
it.
people.
I don't know if you're talking about my boy Jeff.
Yeah, he
'cause
is.
Jeff
Of course
Dunham
he is.
he works hard. He writes new jokes, and they're good things. I love Jeff.
It's not his thing. He's talking.
Reno's like, Reno's like,
Okay,
I used
look,
to love Bubba.
I have no problem. I think Jeff Dunham is really funny. I really do, and I think he's a really nice guy and all the stuff we're supposed to say. But that being said, if you are in an arena and the whole gag is that people can't see your mouth move, so it looks like someone else is doing it. Have you sat in the back of the Bridgestone
Yeah.
and looked down at the center?
Can't see 'em.
I've done a show there. No one could tell if my mouth was moving.
Yeah.
So what's the point of the arena?
The point is, Reno, get yourself a puppet and you would be richer. I'm just saying right now.
I'll shove my hand up somebody.
All right.
Okay, so back to
All
ventriloquism.
right.
Right. So and Jeff,
mean,
I love Jeff Dunham.
hypnotist.
I love Jeff Dunham. I don't know. It's not my thing. So the ventriloquist, they hired this guy who does like birthday parties or whatever. So the guy comes in and he's like, "Hello, mate. Are you ready to have a good time?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be great. Like, I can't wait to watch all these people that think they're coming to an X-rated hypnotist show." So he goes up, does his thing, and he's like, "All right, mate." And he starts off, he takes a firecracker, lights it, throws it up on the stage. It's like, bam! And everybody's like, what the hell was that? And he's like, "Hello!" And I'm like, oh, bad comedy's the best. Bad comedy's the absolute best. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome. And he's like, "All right, I'm going to bring some people up and we're going to have a wonderful time today." And everyone's looking around like, what did we walk into, So he brings a bunch of people up and he's like, "All right, now you're a duck." And the guy's like, "Oh, quack, quack, whatever." And nobody's really going under and a couple people are looking at the sky or whatever. I'm like, this is fantastic. And he's got to be there for an hour, right? So he comes off, and the club owner loses it on him. I told you had to be X-rated. You're supposed to be dirty. And the guy's like, well, I don't know what that means, and what are we supposed to do? And he's like, you got to go up there and be filthy or you're fired. You got till tomorrow. And the guy's like, I don't know what's going on. And his wife's like, we don't understand what's happening. I'm like, come here, I'll tell you what's happening. I go, look, tomorrow when you go up there, you don't just say you're a duck. You go, you're a duck, you blankety blank, blank, blank. And he's like, is that what he's talking about? I'm like, absolutely, man. I mean, you got to lay into these people. They paid to be made fun of. Okay, all right, I've got it. So we're all just sitting in the back.
You're
and we're
just
like,
writing this
we're like,
guy's
oh,
death
God. I'm like, come on, come on. I couldn't wait for the show. I'm like, 7:30, cannot get here fast enough. We get in there. He's like, all right, I'm ready. And he had a bag of tricks, which I won't say on the radio, but he had things that were that dirty people use.
Yeah.
And so he gets up and he's like, all right, I'm bringing people up. And they come up and he's like, all right, you're a duck, you stupid mama. And the guy looks up and goes, hey, beep you. And he walks off. And the guy's standing up there holding a thing.
A toy.
And he's going like, what's going on? And the other people are like, this sucks. And people are walking over. I'm falling on the ground. The other comics were dying. I'm like, this is the... And his wife is like, stop the madness. And I'm like, no. Let it go! Let it go! He comes off, gets fired. And the guy's like, you gotta get, he's like, but that guy over there told me. And Brad, the owner's like, which guy? And he's like, the guy sitting right there crying, laughing, is the one who told me to do it. He's like, you're fired too.
Is that the most fun you ever had getting fired?
Dude, it was the greatest freaking thing. And I was only making like $200 for the week. I was like, good, fire me. I'm losing money on this thing anyway. I'm like 25.
Can we find that guy to show up at the Opry? Wouldn't that be great?
Oh my gosh. That would be my last appearance on the Opry.
Make sure you check him out. Grand Ole Opry. It is happening tomorrow night with Reno Collier. Also check out his website for all of his engagements.
It's RenoCollierComedy.com.
I know, stupid. It's RenoCollierComedy.com, and always great to have you.
Dude, I love you guys. I appreciate you having me on. It's just like the microphones are on, but it's like we're kind of talking on the phone.
We don't need them.
Next time you come in, we're going to get your opinion on prop comics.
Yo.
Oh, dude, I'm ready right now. Let's go right now.
Hey, if you like that video, go ahead, like, subscribe, click the bell, you know.
You have been told what to do. Do it.